I'm successful because I subscribe to Arch Valdor's Patreon.
Get off my lawn!
So, here's a quick and to the point video. Prepare for hell to freeze over. I'm going to say something nice about Blizzard through clenched teeth. This month Blizzard introduced the Collector's Bounty buff. This is actually a really good thing. It makes classic content in retail a lot more relevant, and as a strange and probably unintended side effect, it has made raw gold farming in old raids a lot more attractive. Let's just read the tooltip here because the specifics of it are really important. Dungeon and raid boss equipment drops are doubled. Rare mount and legendary weapons are also increased. Now, as the name implies, the buff is directed at collectors and most of the discussion has centered on mount farming. I've got a really important video on that one coming, so look out for it. But this also has a significant implication for gold farming. The Collector's Bounty essentially doubles the profitability of farming old raids by doubling the amount of weapons and armour you get from each boss. These items can be sold to a vendor for an amount of gold which can stack up to quite a high level. Blizzard have always disapproved of this gold farming strategy and have repeatedly nerfed it over the years. But now for this month at least, with the Collector's Bounty buff, it has come back with a vengeance. And this is just straight gold, no messing about with the auction house. Note that while raids and dungeons are affected, raids benefit disproportionately, because raid bosses generally drop more items of more value than dungeons do. So the 100% drop increase disproportionately benefits raid farmers. Also, we are focusing on raid bosses rather than trash farming for much the same reason. Can we use this buff to make decent profits from older raid content? It turns out yes, but you have to know what to go for, because which raids to select makes absolutely no sense at all. Now, it is important to understand that travelling to the entrances of old raids is not efficient at all, even with the Collector's Bounty buff. It won't be worthwhile. With only a few exceptions, the entrances are too spaced out and too hard to get to without noticeably cutting down on your profit per hour. So mostly we are looking for the NPCs who will allow you to enter older versions of Looking for Raid. I'm going to show them all here. Legion raids are not a bad source of raw gold, but not really worthwhile, as the vendor value of the items is quite limited. Only worth just over 100 raw gold per boss when you add up the vendor value of all the items. Dragonflight, as you might expect, being the previous expansion, is still too tough to do quickly. You can solo the bosses, but it just takes too long. Shadowlands seems like it should be doable, and the bosses can be killed quite quickly. But even when the boss loot doesn't glitch out for some reason, as it did on this run, the vendor prices of Shadowlands gear is again, for no apparent reason, very low. The best source of raw gold by far is Battle for Azeroth era content. This is currently awarding around 300 gold per boss. For some weird reason, the vendor value of weapons and armor is significantly higher than in other expansion raids around that time. Now, if you just run through all the Battle for Azeroth raids, it takes ages. Fortunately, I have a guide to running old BFA raids, which avoids all the roleplay and running between bosses. You can find the link in the description below. That guide works exactly as it did when I first published it. The only difference is it will be twice as profitable. So, right now you can make just under 20,000 gold per hour from doing this until you run out of alts. You can only run each raid once on each alt, so the 20,000 gold figure is normalized to exclude instance lockout. So for this month, you'll be getting more returns from this than most basic gold farming activities. It will be very easy to make a token's worth of gold this month just doing this with a reasonable number of alts every weekly reset. Now, in the past when I've made videos about this type of strategy, they've done much better than my other content. People absolutely love doing this type of thing because it is really easy and fun. But 20,000 gold per hour is by no means the most profitable gold making strategy. If you're curious about how to make bigger profits, then check out my Patreon. Also, for Mr. Pandaria Classic players, we have an active dupe right now. It's a silver dupe, but a dupe nonetheless. And now, here's some more hamsters.